Welcome to the part 5 of the Impact Investing course of the Thought for Food Digital Labs. In this model, we will talk about different impact investing models, a very simplified way that you can follow to find the right investor for you, and we'll discuss a new model to measure impact in your projects. Let's start. As we discussed earlier, to achieve the food security goal requires a lot of resources, and it's important to understand the different sources of that funding and identify what each source is searching in a project. We have already discussed this model, where we consider that impact investing should include the best of traditional investing and philanthropy criteria to get that money, also taking in account the stakeholders involved. As you can see, this model includes a lot of criteria, and for an early stage project, might be difficult to fulfill all. That's why we suggest a 4-point summary of this model. If you're planning to raise some capital from an impact investing source, it's important that you know at the very minimum these 4 points. First, you have to identify your benefiting population, meaning who are you helping with your project. You also have to identify what problem are you solving and should be able to articulate in a simple way. Also, you need to identify who is paying for your solution or where the money is coming from. Sometimes the people who pay are not the same people that are benefiting, and we will see some examples of that. At last, you have to know your business model, meaning how are you making money. As you see, these 4 points include criteria from the philanthropy side as well as the traditional investing side. In the benefiting population, it's important for you to know that an impact project should always aim to benefit people. And it's important for you to know that people. You should know some demographic information as well as the geographic area that you plan to help. As we mentioned, not always the people that are benefiting from your project are the one who will be paying for it. So you also have to identify who will be paying. For example, some business, some governmental organization, some non-profit, or even some individual customers. We will see some examples of projects where the benefiting population and the ones who pay are very different individuals. Since the idea is that with your impact project you will be solving some problems, it's important to identify it in the right way and also be able to articulate it in a very simple way to an investor that might not be familiar with the problem that you are solving. Some common problems solved by impact projects tend to be in the health space, finance, and in this case with Thought for Food, food and agriculture. The last point in this very quick 4-point summary is the business model. You need to know where the money will be coming through your project, because that's something that investor will be very interested. For example, in your business model, you have to be aware of the value proposition that you offer to your customer. Meaning, what are you offering to them that they perceive that have some value. The next thing is to identify your customer segment, meaning who are you offering your value proposition. You also have to identify the channels, meaning how you're going to get your product or service to the final customer. And at last, you have to identify the revenue streams that your project will have, meaning where the money is coming from and how you're going to charge for your product or service. Let's see some examples of companies that have some impact and have raised some impact investing in the past. Solena is a Mexican company that works solving the soil health problem. They increase the beneficial microorganisms in the farmers' soils, helping them to use less chemical inputs and improving the quality of their products. As you can see in the chart, their business model is product and service based, since they charge for the analysis of the soil, identifying the microorganisms, but they also sell the microorganisms back to the farmers, so they get money from the product and the service. The problem that they are solving is that they are regenerating beneficial microorganisms in the soil with local strains, increasing the possibility of adaptation of these microorganisms, but also reducing the ecological risk of moving microorganisms all over the world. The benefited population are the local small and medium-sized farmers from Mexico. And in this case, the farmers are the ones that are paying for the product and service. So we can see that the benefited population and the one who pays are the same in this case. Just by watching this 4-point summary, an investor can have a better understanding of what Solena do and see if it's within the scope of their investing activities. Other projects related to food security that have raised money from impact investing sources is Lucky Ironfish. The founder of the company saw that in Cambodia and other places in the world, there are a lot of iron deficiency that cause anemia. He saw the current solutions at the time and came up with a better solution. He put a small iron fish into the pots of the people that are cooking, for example, rice or just boiling water. That way, the iron leach from the fish to the water and people receive a greater intake of iron in their normal diet without changing anything in their diet or without the need of consuming pills that taste awful and are very expensive. Their business model is product-based, since the thing that they sell is the fish. The problem that they are solving is the iron deficiency that caused anemia. Also, they are solving the problem of the high cost and low efficiency and compliance of the current iron supplements. The benefited population is a population with iron deficiency, or at least at risk of getting some iron deficiency. In this case, who pays tends to be different to the benefited population. Normally, these fish are acquired by NGOs, governments, and health agencies from around the world, and small portions of fish are sold online to the final customer. Even though this might seem like a very simple solution, they have received investing from different sources, since they are solving a problem and making money with it. This project is also helping other stakeholders. For example, the fish are produced in Cambodia with local materials and workforce. Other great project that have already received some investing, it's called Kuli Kuli. They sell products based on moringa, that it's a plant that have a lot of nutritional properties. Their business model is product-based, since that's what they are selling. The problem that they are solving are many. For example, they solve the problem of deforestation, helping plant a lot of trees, and with that, generating some CO2 capture. They also promote agriculture in Africa and Central America, and the last problem that they are solving is the malnutrition problem in urban fast food. The benefited population of this project are the farmers from Africa and Central America that are the ones that are planting and sourcing the moringa, as well as the people that buy and consume these products. Normally, these customers live in North America, and these retail customers are the ones who pay for the product, so financing the whole operation. The last example that we will discuss is Green Zebra Grocery. This is a company that mixes the whole food approach to healthy food with the 7-Eleven convenience store model. Even though what they sell are products, they are considered to be a service-based business model, since they are in the retail industry. The problem that they are solving is the lack of nutrition food in urban environments, also known as food deserts. The benefited population that they are helping is the urban population that lives in these food deserts. And the ones that pay are the retail customers that buy the products from this store. So you can see this as a very straightforward company that from the outside might seem not like an impact project, but that have attracted some impact investing in the past. I hope that this very simplified model have inspired you to think about these points in your company. As I mentioned in the past, each investing company and organization might have their own model, but these 4 points at the very least that you will need to know and articulate to get some investing. Now, talking about impact and how you measure impact, that's one of the most discussed points in impact investing. There's not a standard way to measure impact, since different companies and institutions that work in investing have their own model. I invite you to read the following article that was published this year in the Harvard Business Review. They talk about a standardized model to measure impact. After you read this article, I invite you to answer the following questions. Do you think it's possible to measure impact with a single number? If you could solve one of the world's biggest problems, which one would it be? Do you keep any impact indicator in your project? Have you identified your benefited population and your business model? Are your benefited population and the ones who paid the same person in your project? Once you have these answers, I invite you to share it with your team. This concludes the course of Impact Investing in the Thought for Food Digital Labs. I invite you to let me know if you have any questions or if there's any way I can help you. Please keep learning and hope to see you in the Thought for Food Summit. I wish you good luck. See you soon.